Recorded in Chicago, Illinois with your hosts, Ken, Matt, Neal, and Jeff. This is Triviality. The cream of the crop!
Hey everybody, welcome to Triviality, the show where no power meets no responsibility. My name is Ken. I'm back from, what was it, water reclamation?
Water reclamation plant. Yeah, you were trying to put flavor into some of the water down in Alabama.
Okay, whatever that was about, that's fine. I haven't listened to that one yet, so I'm just going to accept it. Mm-hmm. How are you boys doing today?
Yeah, doing all right.
Yeah. A little tired, just had lunch, so I'm a little sleepy now.
Yeah, I was playing video games for 24 hours straight for a fundraiser. I think I actually made it 23 hours, so
What did you play?
I can't claim 24 hours. Spider-Man.
Yeah, it's a good
for
game.
PS4. It's very fun.
Yeah, it was a great cause you played for. It was called Extra Life. Mm-hmm. Great charity. And you and my brother have done it, I think, for 3 years now.
And a couple other friends.
Yeah. So it's really cool idea there. A lot of people streaming online. You can check out different streams, donate to different streams. So
yeah, and I think they accept charity donations all year round. So check out Extra Life. Worthy cause for children's hospitals. So
we could put a link in the show notes there for you.
How about we get to it? We got a great guest today who's going to be hosting for us, Gena Kimminau from Omaha. Was it?
Yep. Omaha, Nebraska.
Welcome to the show.
Thank you so much for having me. So I'm coming to you. Well, I'm actually coming to you from Council Bluffs. So shout out to my friends Seth and Holly for letting me use their nice setup, and for Seth being an engineer for me. So I live in Omaha, Nebraska, and I work in Council Bluffs, Iowa, because I deal cards at one of the casinos on the river here.
Oh, that's pretty cool.
I always wondered what that would be like.
Yeah, how do you like it? Like, what are some things that we might not know that you have to deal with on a daily basis?
Well, I mean, first of all, I love it. I love the fact that I get paid to play cards. So that's really nice. What do people not know? Oh, the fact that I can't take anything out of your hand. Like, as a dealer, like, you can't hand me anything. So that's why you always have to, like, put the money down on the table. And it's always funny to, like, talk to other dealers, because they'll talk about, like, how they go to the grocery store and they, like, tell the cashier to put their change on the counter because they can't take it out of their hand. I think I did that at the DMV one time.
It's a very weird casino etiquette that you have to get used to sometimes.
Yes. Yeah.
I feel like any interaction that you have with money then with people, it's almost like the classic scene in movies where you put the money down and very slowly slide it across to give to you.
Yep. Especially roulette with like those stacks and stacks of chips. Like when like we take a special class just to deal roulette, and a couple days is just like how to effectively like push like a massive amount of plain chips across the surface.
Wow.
Anything I should know on the other side of the table? Because in a few weeks we're going to be in Vegas for Geek Bowl.
Yes, that's
right.
right.
I've never actually been in a... Well, I've been in a casino, but
I'll show you the ropes. But speaking of all that sweet cash, you've also set some chips down on our table without, actually handing it to us, because you're a United States champion, and we thank you for that.
Yes, of course. Thank you so much for being so entertaining and giving such a great trivia format for me to listen to.
And thank you. It's greatly appreciated. Every little bit counts.
We try.
Yeah, we try to do our best and put out the best program we can, and it's with the help of people like Gena that allows us to do that.
All right. Well, without further ado, in his best casino dealer voice, the rules guy.
The rules of the game are simple. 20 questions split into 2 rounds worth 10 points apiece. At halftime, there'll be a special swing round designed by this week's host. After regulation, players will enter the final round with the points that they've accumulated and will have a chance to wager 0 to 30 points on 5 categorized questions. At the end of the game, someone will be named the cream of the crop.
You know that I'm the cream of the crop.
All right, so what's the wager today? What's on the line here?
Yeah, we do need some sort of wager since Gena works at a casino. So something is going to have to happen. The winner does something or the loser does something. Matt is supposed to have eaten Vegemite by now after a year and a half, but he still is not.
Yeah, I think with interest, I have to eat like a gallon bucket of it at this point.
This is what we'll do. So we had a game that we recorded earlier where one of the questions had to do with the Nathan's hot dog eating contest.
Oh, God.
So if Matt and Jeff lose today, Matt has to dip a hot dog in Vegemite and eat it, and we'll put it on our group, the crop, if they lose.
Why just Matt?
Just Matt. That's fine.
You don't have to point
I
that
will
out.
fall on this sword.
Yep.
Right, very well.
Yeah.
It's
Anything for us?
keto-friendly,
Not
so
really,
it's
huh?
okay.
No.
Yeah.
No.
We're exempt.
Yeah,
No,
we're
no,
exempt.
you get to eat a hot dog covered in Vegemite.
Okay, fine. Sure.
Yeah.
Veggie dog. for
Fine.
me.
Loser eats the veggie dog. Yeah. So what team name are we going to be then?
Well, Neal got me into this show called Schitt's Creek on Netflix. So let's be Rose Video.
All right, we're Rose Video.
I think in honor of Omaha, Nebraska, I think of Saddle Creek Records, my favorite band, Bright Eyes. We're going to be Bright Guys.
Ooh,
All
very
right.
nice.
All right, so Bright Guys versus Rose Videos.
It is that time of the season
Yeah.
where everybody busts out their Bright Eyes records.
Cold or sad, you get your acoustic guitar and you're good to go.
Well, take it away.
All right. Okay, so let's start with question number 1. The category is, who knew there were that many dwarfs past Uranus? Question. NASA made the news recently for ending the Dawn spacecraft mission, but not until after the craft had visited the dwarf planet Sirius in the asteroid belt. How many other dwarf planets are recognized in our solar system by the International Astronomical Union, all of which lie past Uranus? Bonus points, 5 bonus points, if you can name 2 of them.
Not including Sirius, I take it.
Yes, yep. How many other dwarf planets that lie in the outer solar system?
This is going to be a guess answer.
Yeah, it's all going to be on you on this one. I heard the story. I just don't know.
All right, we're locked in.
Oh, good. Jeff, say some things.
So Pluto is a dwarf planet past Uranus.
Okay.
It's one of them. Ceres is its twin.
Mm-hmm.
I know Pluto's got a couple moons,
You think those are dwarf
but
planets?
those are dwarf moons, not dwarf planets.
Well, then why did you bring it up, Jeff?
You know it's on the line now.
There's like
so.
2 or 3 others.
He
I think
doesn't.
it's called Make, but I can't remember.
Mahi Mahi. My favorite tuna, my favorite dwarf planet.
Mahi Mahi is dolphin fish.
Yeah.
All right, we're just going to say 71 on a guess. We're going to say that 71st one was Pluto, and the other one is planet Dalton, the toughest planet in the solar system.
Okay, so there are a total of 5
Yeah.
recognized dwarf planets, which means that your answer is 4. 4 of them lie in the outer solar system. One is Pluto, which is why I asked you to name 2, because I figured everybody'd get that one. And then, you know what, I'm going to have you guys make a call, because one of the answers is Maki, but Matt kind of changed it to Mahi.
No, he was just
I was
just
making
goofing around.
some jokes.
Yeah, I'll give it to him. Yeah, give him that 5 points.
Well, good job, Jeff.
Yeah, so 5 bonus points for that one. Okay, so the 4 in the outer solar system are Pluto, Haumea, Maki, and Eris.
Okay.
And then Ceres is in the asteroid belt. The Dawn spacecraft was the one that visited them in the asteroid belt. Also, the Kepler telescope was also announced by NASA on the 30th that both programs have ended because they ran out of fuel.
Oh, wow.
That's a shame.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Should
So
have stopped for gas when they saw that exit. That's what.
I know.
It's true. You got to listen to your lights.
Yeah.
Question 2, category. Moving from Uranus to Venus.
Mm-hmm.
The Birth of Venus by artist Botticelli is displayed in the Uffizi Gallery located in what Italian city?
I'll let you know when I'll be helpful. Not yet.
Oh, not yet. Okay.
No, not this question.
Okay, I'm fine with that.
Is that Italian?
Yeah, it's Italian.
Then yeah.
Okay, we're locked in.
All right. So you got your Florences.
Mhm.
You got your
You have your Romes.
your Romes.
You have your.
Tuscany.
I think
that-
that's a region.
Okay.
It could be. I don't know. You have a. What's your gut say?
My gut says Florence.
Okay, we'll go Florence.
Okay.
Yeah, we had Florence on our list. We wrote down Florence, Tuscany, Rome, and then we know there are a few famous paintings in Milan. So we went with Milan.
Yeah, were you thinking of that one that's on the wall?
Yeah, the mural.
What was that?
Is that the Last Supper?
I think.
Yeah.
So I think that's where we were.
Yeah.
On the same wavelength there.
Yeah.
We thought maybe they were next to each other.
Yeah.
Okay, so your answer is Florence.
All right. We're just on a
Oh, they're
roll.
rolling. Could taste the hot dog already.
Question number 3, category. Let's talk about a river in Egypt. Question. Commonly called the 5 stages of grief: denial, anger, bargaining, depression, and acceptance. What model postulates a progression of emotional states? The name suggests the model was formed by 2 psychiatrists, but really her last name was just hyphenated.
On that one, I think I'm right on the order, but I don't believe that's the correct answer. But
But we got nothing else. So let's
that might be true.
lock it in.
So I couldn't remember the name. I saw the article where he mentioned the scientist.
I
name.
noticed she didn't say buying stuff and eating ice cream. That's usually in my 5 stages of grief.
Right. Or watching depressing movies or something, or music.
Listening to Bright Eyes.
Yeah, yours is Ben and Jerry's, The Shins, working out.
No, shins make me feel good.
Okay. Yeah, I'm not sure. You don't have anything?
Kruger Dunning is a different thing, but at least it's a thing.
I think that's also backwards. I think it's the Dunning-Kruger.
Dunning-Kruger, whatever.
But that would be applicable given what you just did. So
yeah. No, it's Kruger Dunning, I'm telling you.
After Jeff correcting me, I'm in a stage of grief right now. So what's your answer?
We said Briggs-Myers because we got stuck on the hyphen and we were done.
Test.
Yep.
So your answer is the Kubler-Ross model.
Yeah, sounds
so close.
The model was first introduced by Swiss-American psychiatrist Elizabeth Kubler-Ross in her 1969 book On Death and Dying, and was inspired by her work with terminally ill patients.
Makes sense.
I'll store that one away for future reference.
Question 4, category. Let's do a little A-word geography. Of all of the UN recognized countries that begin with the letter A, only 2 do not also end with the letter A. Name both of these countries.
Reluctant.
How about Azerbaijan?
Azerbaijan's a good one. Afghanistan wouldn't be in the UN, would it? I know they're under new
UN
leadership.
recognized countries.
Okay. I mean, that's ends in A. Both of them end in N. So I'm just trying to think.
Let's go with those 2.
Okay.
It's going to sound really strange, but we went with Azerbaijan and Afghanistan.
All right. You guys are correct. It is Azerbaijan and Afghanistan.
On the board.
With geography.
That was one of my favorite questions from the pub quiz that I went to, because it was one of those that I sat there and I was like, okay, I got one. What's the other one? Yes, I got the other one. Finally, I figured it out.
Those are always the best moments.
That happened a little quicker for us than I thought it was going to.
Yeah, I'm surprised I even knew a country like that.
A country. Like America? No.
Crap, that's the United States. All right, I don't know.
Okay, question number 5. So I asked my friend Adam Belt to provide my listener submitted questions. So he wrote both of my question 5s today. So thank you, Adam.
Thank you, Adam.
Yeah.
And thank you for continuing to stick to our little motif there.
Yeah. And he gave me this category. Category is Get This One and You'll Make Sarge Proud. What was the name of the Cardinals player who scored the game-winning run in the 1946 World Series game against the Boston Red Sox?
Whatever you want to do.
Okay. All right, we're locked in.
The only Cardinal I could think, and I'm not even sure if this is from that era, but I think it is because he was, but that might have been 60s. But he was a Cub who was traded to the Cardinals, and it was a source of contention for a while. So we said Lou Brock.
Lou Brock, and he turned into Venom, I think. We went with Stan Musial. Was the only Cardinal I could think of. Okay,
so your answer is, his last name is Slaughter.
Mm-hmm. Slaughter.
Oh, yeah. We went the wrong.
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah, wouldn't have got
so.
There.
Yeah, Adam thought that would be a good one for you for your love of wrestling with Sergeant Slaughter.
Now that you say it, it's perfect. I just didn't even think of that. I was going the wrong way. Looks like after 5 Team Rose video, only at 10 points on the board, but we're just getting started. Ken's waking up. So what about you guys?
We are up to 35 with the 5 bonus points.
Ooh, all right.
All right, moving on to question 6. I would love for my boarding pass to say that. While a non-stop trans-Pacific flight route between these 2 cities would be highly impractical, it would be awesome if you could get a direct flight between these 2 cities and have your boarding pass say, Fat Kicks. What cities have the airport codes FAT and KIX? Hint, if you tried to book a flight between these 2 cities right now, your layovers would most likely be San Francisco and Tokyo.
I'm terrible with airport codes. I know like 3 of them.
Yeah, because sometimes they apply to the name of the city, sometimes not at all.
Right.
And
yeah.
it would just be a toss-up between every city in the world times 2. So.
Okay, we're locked in.
Like East Coast cities? Are we thinking maybe?
Yeah, I mean, like
start with F.
Frankfurt,
Fort Lauderdale,
Kentucky, Fort Lauderdale, something in Texas, like something. We got nothing. Yeah, Father Christmas Town in Kicksville.
Yeah, we didn't know either. It's a good question. Airports aren't our strong suit, so we just went Austin, Texas to Kazakhstan.
Oh, nice. Okay, so FAT is Fresno, California.
Mm-hmm.
And KIX is Osaka, Japan.
Oh, okay.
We would never gotten there. We'd be here a couple hours before we guessed it.
I still have this tendency to look at license plates and see airport codes. They're just ingrained in my head.
Makes sense given that what you used to do. So
Yeah. I also, see multiples of 21 and everything, because I do blackjack so much. So just stuff in my life. Okay. So moving on to question 7. Category is, while we are in Asia, let's talk about some bare necessities. Food. Originating from the Philippines and commonly sold as street food, this popular Southeast Asian food is a developing bird embryo, usually a duck, that is boiled and eaten from the shell. Name that food.
We're locked in.
Some kind of egg?
gooey duck? I can't remember.
Gooey duck?
That's what we're going to say, right? Because
Yeah.
we've got nothing better?
Oh,
Okay.
yeah. We're looking at the gooey duck.
It may be a gooey duck, but that's a clam, right?
I think so, yeah.
I think this is called balut. Balut?
Or Baloo.
You are correct in the fact that gooey duck is a clam. You are correct. And you are also correct that the answer is balut.
All
It
right.
is
Nice.
BALUT.
We were both right about something. So,
That bare necessities category
led you
clue
to-
there really helped. So
Yeah.
I was like, oh, yes, Baloo. Good.
yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I've had it before. I had it when I was in Cambodia. And it was one of those things where it's like, oh my God, my friend was going to make me eat it. And I'm like, oh no. But one of the best things I've ever had.
Oh, that's cool.
It was so good. But I didn't even know the name of it. I just knew that it was that, boiled embryo. And so I was like, oh, I'm going to ask this as a question. And then I was like, okay, yeah, I need to make a hint for this because I wouldn't come up with it.
Well, on my next holiday in Cambodia, I'll have to try it.
So many Dead Kennedys jokes. We've probably made a holiday in Cambodia joke
Probably like
5
3 or 4
times. in
times.
Every
history.
time I hear it,
That should be another Patreon goal that we eat Baloo.
or you get sent
No,
to
I'm not.
Cambodia.
Well, no, Ken won't. I'll eat it for Ken.
I'll eat the shark again.
Okay, number 8 category. Well, that doesn't sound appealing. Name the band who reached number 28 on the Billboard Hot 100 in 1998 with these lyrics. I would swallow my pride. I would choke on the rinds, but the lack thereof would leave me empty inside.
I would swallow my doubt.
Yeah, I'm
Turn
going
it
to
inside out?
Please. Don't do
Gonna
this.
find nothing, right?
We're in with Eve 6.
Yeah, Eve 6, Inside Out.
Yep. Good job.
That one
feel
is
good.
directly in all of our wins.
Yeah. That was perfect.
Good. Question number 9 category. Another thing unappealing to eat. In 2013, the New York Times released an article calling this household item the must-steal item of the season. What household item became a target for shoplifters because of its stable value and inability to trace, making the product an ideal street currency for drug deals?
Oh, no.
Too early for Tide Pods.
What about,
People didn't realize how delicious they were yet.
what could it be something that you could turn an opening? Like a...
I feel like it's maybe like something that you would exchange for drugs, and then they would go and collect the real money later based on what they had. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Let's say Monopoly money. I don't know.
Okay.
I mean, I said Tide Pods is a joke, but then I thought maybe that's where we were getting at. Maybe that was a clue in the question about not appealing to eat. So we said laundry detergent.
Okay. Yep. Your answer is laundry detergent. And it was specifically Tide.
Yeah.
And it had to do with because Tide it holds it's shelf stable, it holds its value, and so it became kind of a currency. Shout out to my friend Dan for giving me that question. Thank you.
Thank you, Dan.
People would literally pay for drugs with bottles
laundry
of
detergent.
Tide.
Yeah.
Wow.
Dan, expect your bottle of Tide in the mail.
Okay, and then question 10. The category is, I was told there would be no gambling.
Not around here.
So your question. Neal and Jeff walk into a casino in downtown Las Vegas and buy in at a roulette table. One of them bets on black and the other bets on red. What are the true odds that both of them will lose?
I would say likely.
So both of these
I only ever do what Alkaline Trio tells me, and I always put it all on
bet
black.
on black. Yeah, we're locked in. You can.
That
beat
was on in the
yourself up.
car when we went to lunch.
Okay.
I can't help it.
There's 36 numbers
Okay.
that are colored red and black, and then there's 0 and 00.
Right.
So it would have to land on 0 or 00 in order for you to both lose. So it'd be 2 out of, what did I say, 36? Oh,
Yeah.
no, 2 out of 38.
So the odds would be 19 to 1 or 1 to 19. I don't know how that works. Okay, so 1-19. Okay.
Yeah, I knew there was a 0 and a 00, which are not red or black. I thought there was only 32 numbers, so we said 1 and 16.
Okay, yes, there are 1 through 36 that are red and black, and then a 0 and a 00, which are green. So your odds of both losing are 2 and 38 or 1 and 19.
Oh, Ken, nice job.
Yeah.
I had the right idea.
I mean, this
Wrong
this is
numbers.
coming from someone who I ask questions in a hypothetical sense for fun, for betting. Like, what's the over-under on that? It has nothing to do with over-unders because I have no idea what it means. So,
Well, Matt, you watched me win like
you're cleaning up.
$300 in
Yeah.
about 15 minutes on a roulette table, which I know is like the worst game to play at the casino by far.
Your system was working, though.
Walk away after
Yeah.
winning. It's a terrible game to play at the casino.
We got 55.
all right. Well, looks like after a great first round from Gena, Team Rose Video has 40 points and Team Bright Guys 55. So pretty close game, but we're coming back.
Mm-hmm.
What do we have for the swing round today, Gena?
So I actually have a matching game for your swing round. What I've got is 10 pets and 10 owners.
Okay.
I've got a couple presidential pets in there, and then the rest of them are going to be fictitious. So let me give you all of the pets first, and then I'll give you the owners, and then you match them up.
Great.
Sounds good.
Okay. All right. So we are going to start with Barfy the dog. And then we've got Bo the dog, Ruff the dog. Then we have Arnold the pygmy puff, Dorothy the goldfish, Klaus the goldfish, Trevor the toad, Slimy the worm, the Siamese cats Coco and Yum Yum, and finally my favorite one, Dick the mockingbird. Okay, and then here are your owners. Ginny Weasley, Thomas Jefferson, Elmo, James Quillerin, Stan Smith, Dennis the Menace, Oscar the Grouch, The Family Circus, Barack Obama, and Neville Longbottom.
I'm sad that there was no checkers. Haru.
How do you want to just say the pet name and then we'll go back and forth on owners? Go down the list? Or
Yeah, sure. All right, so number 1, Barfy the dog.
This seems like something Dennis the Menace would name his dog, so Dennis the Menace.
Yeah, we didn't know, and I didn't know who James something or other was, so I said James whatever that last name was.
Quinlan?
Yeah.
Quillerin.
Barfy the dog is the dog from the Family Circus. Number 2, Bo the dog.
Yep, that would be Bo Obama. So we went with Barack Obama.
Oh, I thought Bo knows. No. Yeah, Bo Obama.
Yep, President Obama. And number 3, Ruff the dog.
This one we said Family Circus on.
And we said Dennis the Menace.
Yep, that is Dennis the Menace.
All right. We figured the parents of Dennis wouldn't let them name the dog Barfy.
Yeah, but he got away with a lot though,
Yeah, but
so
it
we
was-
can't be too surprised.
It was Phil Hartman in the cartoon. He's a very strict father.
Number 4, Arnold the pygmy puff.
Well, I'm not exactly sure what a pygmy puff is, but none of these other animals seem to fit in with Harry Potter. So we're going to go with Ginny Weasley.
Hey, we went Ginny Weasley.
Yep, that is Ginny Weasley's pet.
Oh, wow.
What is that?
It's a pygmy puff.
Yeah, it's a small puff. It's a pygmy puff.
Oh.
It is. It's just one of those fantastical creatures from the Harry Potter universe, and it's just a little ball of fluff.
Oh,
Sounds nice.
yeah.
Anytime Ken asks, like, what is that? And I have no idea, I just fall back on tautology.
Mm-hmm.
And just say, well, it's whatever it is.
Okay, number 5, Dorothy the goldfish.
So Colleen's niece that we take care of, Aria, who always goes Elmo to watch videos. I'm pretty sure Elmo has interacted with a goldfish named Dorothy, so we went with Elmo.
We also just guessed Elmo.
Yeah, Dorothy is Elmo's.
We're good at this matching stuff.
Okay, so number 6, Klaus the goldfish.
Yeah, this one, luckily we were writing a all-adult cartoon trivia game recently, and this is the only way I would have known this because I would have thought Stan Smith were the great Adidas shoes that I have, but it's from American Dad, so we went Stan Smith.
Yeah, he was a German ski jumper who's had his mind transferred into a goldfish so they wouldn't win gold in the Olympics. Stan Smith.
Is that really the backstory?
Yes.
Yes. Yeah, it is. Yeah, Stan Smith. All right, number 7, Trevor the Toad.
This one I just remember from one of the movies, Neville Longbottom going, Trevor! So, Neville.
Yes, we also said Neville.
And that was Neville Longbottom's toad that kept escaping. Yes. All right, number 8, Slimy the Worm.
I remembered the worm being associated with the Muppet, so we were tossing this back and forth between Elmo and Oscar, and since Elmo is taken, Oscar it is.
And Oscar lives in a garbage can.
Yeah, we thought it makes sense for a garbage man, to be hanging around with worms, so he said Oscar.
All right, yep, Slimy is Oscar's. Okay, so the Siamese cats, number 9. Siamese cats, Coco and Yum Yum.
Yeah, this one, we couldn't think of any fictitious character who would have Siamese cats, and we'd never heard the name Quillerin, but it sounds very similar, or it sounds like a person who would have Siamese cats, so we said Quillerin.
P.S. I think we flipped these last two.
Oh, really?
Now that I think about it.
Oh, well, that's okay.
But maybe not.
This one we said Family Circus.
Okay, so the cats, Coco and Yum Yum, belong to a detective in the Cat Who mystery novels by Lillian Jackson Braun, and they belong to James Quillerin.
Never mind. I stand corrected.
All right, and your final one, Dick the Mockingbird.
Yep, that's pretty great.
Thomas Jefferson,
Yep.
not the sentimental type.
Yep, there we go, Thomas Jefferson.
Yep, that was Thomas Jefferson's.
Richard, please.
So we just narrowly edged them out.
Trying to write, Richard. So, following the swing round, we are adding another 40 to our total, doubling that to be 80 points.
Quite the swing.
Yep. And we are adding 40 as well, up to 95.
All right, so it's getting interesting.
All right, moving into the second round. Question 11, category. Well, that escalated quickly. During Game 7 of the 2016 World Series, the Fox broadcast cut to a dugout conversation in which the Chicago first baseman says, "I'm in a glass case of emotion right now." Who was that first baseman, and who was the catcher he was talking to? Name both.
All right, we're locked in.
The first baseman would be Anthony Rizzo. I believe the catcher is Grandpa Ross or David Ross.
Yeah, we said Grandpa Ross, David Ross, and Anthony Rizzo.
Yep, catcher David Ross and first baseman Anthony Rizzo.
More questions for Chicagoans that would get kicked out of the city if we didn't get it right.
Yes, yeah.
Even I knew that one. And just for the record, being in a glass case of emotion, I was as well during the World Series, even though I'm not like a huge baseball fan.
Yeah.
I fell to my knees when it was over. I was like, thank God.
Oh, I had to stay up. Yeah, it was like, 1 in the morning or whatever,
yeah.
midnight. And yeah, I remember my dad went to sleep because he's like, oh, this is, it's not going to end. And then he like came back down like whatever it was,
Yeah.
midnight. He's like, I had to watch. I was watching on the TV.
The rain delay
Yep.
was amazing. Unless you're a Cleveland fan, sorry.
So my friend Adam, who wrote my question 5s, he is a Indians fan, but I thought it was awesome.
Condolences.
Yes.
Well, I told people at work, my favorite American team is the Indians. And my favorite National League team is the Cubs. So either way, I was going to be happy and sad at the same time.
Okay, moving on to question 12. I hope you guys like this one. The category is, you want me to what? Okay, I want you to take the numbers from the following movie titles, and then I'm going to give you a math problem with them. Express the answer in Roman numerals, and then give the answer to me using the phonetic alphabet.
Okay.
So the first movie is the 2004 romantic comedy starring Adam Sandler and Drew Barrymore. And then subtract the 2002 drama starring Eminem and Brittany Murphy. And then express that number in Roman numerals and answer using the phonetic alphabet. And then just to clarify, when I say phonetic alphabet, I mean the NATO phonetic alphabet.
Okay.
I believe I'm correct.
Okay.
Because I do feel like there's some L's in there.
2020. Yeah, maybe L's.
Think about the Super Bowls. How is that been
I'm
expressed?
I'm trying to remember. Maybe it's LLII. So that'd be Lima, Indigo,
India.
India.
All right, we're going to lock in with Lima, India.
Okay, so the movies are 50 first dates and 8 miles, so you got 50 minus 8 to get to 42. L is 50 You put an X before it to take away 10, so XLII. Jeff had X-Ray Lima. I was fighting for Indigo, but we said India, so it's X-Ray Lima, India, India.
Yep, that is all correct. 51st States, 8 Mile, XLII, X-Ray Lima, India, India.
Well, we were around it.
You were close.
Yeah.
We had the right impression.
Okay, question 13. 42 is the answer to life, the universe, and everything, but this answer is an out-of-the-world potable. In The Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy by Douglas Adams, President of the Universe, Zaphoid Beeblebrox, mixes a drink that is described as like having your brain smashed out by a slice of lemon wrapped around a large gold brick, and the alcoholic equivalent to a mugging, expensive and bad for the head. Name the drink.
Again, a thing I should read.
I need to read this damn book.
Yeah, this is probably the...
But I've heard the answer to this one, and I could get close.
Yeah, that's better than I can do. I would just say most deaf. So yeah, get as close as you can. I really need to read this too because I always feel like there's a trivia question.
Reluctant.
It's this. We didn't start the fire.
Yeah.
What else is on the list of things we need to do?
Learn Canada geography
I know Canadian geography.
and playing card games.
Ooh, card games, yeah.
Yes.
To be fair, I was told I was 40 years too young to start playing bridge. So.
Yeah, well, maybe 40 years will be better. Any idea on this one?
No.
Night Juice?
What is that from?
I don't remember.
We're going to give Jeff some night juice after this recording, though.
I'm going to have to look it up at some point. Butterbeer.
I just remember it being like an onomatopoeia sort of thing. So like I just wrote down bang popper. I think it might be like whiz bang or bang popper.
The drink in Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy is called the Pan Galactic Gargle Blaster.
Gargle blaster is what I was thinking of.
You're on the right track.
I
mean,
kind of.
You're kind of there
I had,
for not
I had
knowing the book.
something back in there.
Yeah.
I mean, I named a drink from a book, so I think I was closer, to be honest.
Are you a fan of this book, Gina?
Oh, I am. I love it. I have like the nice like leather bound full collection like sitting on my bookshelf. I would recommend if you read it, only read books 1 through 3. Do not read 4 and 5.
I'm
Okay.
just reading the first one. Let's be.
1 through 3. Okay.
Yeah, 1 through 3. It's not that 4 and 5 are not beautifully written. It's just you get a happy ending after 3.
Oh, okay.
And Urban Dictionary defines night juice as Ambien and any hard alcohol taken together.
So we're going to give that to Jeff along with the knuckle sandwich. Yeah.
Okay, question 14, category. Let's bring this game back down to earth and take some reasonable public transportation. Several public transportation systems are referred to by nicknames, such as the London Underground or the Chicago L train. What is the name of the Portland Light Rail system, which shares its name with the 2015 movie about a dog that helped American Marines in Afghanistan?
I remember this movie.
Yeah, so do I.
There was an animated one too, wasn't there?
There was one. It was about a dog in World War I. Just came out.
Okay.
Yeah, where he like helped the troops.
Why?
Because there's a lot of hipsters in
War
Portland.
dog.
Okay, fine.
Oh man, this one's gonna kill me.
We are locked in.
It's not like private PVT Portland PVT, the unheard of Michael Jackson song. That's what we're locking with.
And I was just thinking that I would name a transit system in hipster Portland as the Handlebar Mustache Rail.
I like that name better. So your answer for the Portland Light Rail system is called the MAX.
The Max.
Yep, it stands for Metropolitan Area Express.
Okay.
All right, question 15. And thank you again, Adam. He didn't give me a category title, so I'm just going to shout out to him again. Okay. When Prince became the artist formerly known as Prince, what was the official name of the text icon he used? And then he gives you a bonus opportunity for 5 points. What was the request made by the Warner Brothers record company that led to Prince breaking his contract and changing his stage name?
That's right.
I think so.
Okay.
Does that sound familiar to you?
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, his symbol is like almost a combination of the male and female symbol, right?
Loveogram.
Yeah, that's fine. Loveogram.
Sort of like hymns heartogram. And so we're going to say lovegram. And let's just say they wanted him to put out another record that year?
How about a Christmas album? Because he's
Christmas
Jehovah's
album.
Witness.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's a good one.
I thought it was called The Hymn Sign, and we couldn't remember why he split with this record deal.
Maybe they asked him to give up basketball.
So the name of the text icon is specifically called Love Symbol Number 2.
That was close.
And you're right, it is the combination of the male and the female symbol, like overlapped. And then the bonus, the record company actually asked him to slow down his recording and not release an album a year.
Oh, okay.
That's unusual.
Yep. After changing his name and starting his own label, he averaged more than an album a year and is rumored to have enough recorded material in his vault that the estate could release new albums for 20 to 30 years.
Wow.
Kevin Smith does something really fascinating. Are any of you Kevin Smith fans?
Mm-hmm. Oh, that's right. That does sound familiar. Didn't he was invited, right, to Prince's house?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, he talks about it in one of his, like, when Kevin Smith goes around and does, like, those college talks or whatever. He talked about how Prince invited him to come and film, and he just, like, stored it in his vault, like, didn't use it or anything, just, like, stored it away. So that's just what he did. All right, number 16. Category. The mind is a terribly fascinating thing. In the summer of 1966, the University of Texas Tower in Austin became the epicenter of tragedy when a student went on a murderous rampage. By the time police were able to bring him down, the 25-year-old student had shot and killed 15 people and wounded 32 others. According to Time magazine from August 12, 1966, Whitman's autopsy revealed that a nickel-sized tumor had been compressing what almond-shaped area of the brain that is known to regulate aggression.
I read it about Whitman quite a long time ago. There's a Harry Chapin song by the name of Sniper, which is about this specific incident, which is quite good if you're into that sort of music. I'm trying to remember. I knew he had a brain tumor that was undiagnosed. He was like hearing voices and stuff like that. And okay, yeah, we'll stick with it.
We're locked in.
With our first gut reaction.
We're locked in. You guys can go first if you want.
We wrote everything down basically from your hippocampuses to your thalamuses. The first thing I wrote down was amygdala, and I'm pretty sure that's the emotional center of the brain, so we just said amygdala.
So yeah, we've been burned many, many times at trivia, at least with me, if I'm there. Ken said the same thing from the movie The Water Boy, because we can never remember if it's real or not.
The medulla oblongata.
And
it's real.
It's real,
whether
it's correct.
Right. We went with the medulla oblongata.
Okay, so your answer, the almond-shaped area of the brain, is the amygdala.
Yeah.
And it comes from the Greek word for almond.
Someone please, what is the medulla oblongata now? It ruins trivia for me every time. I get it wrong.
All right, I'm looking it up.
All right, we'll figure that. We'll get back to that. Yeah.
Okay, question 17. Category. So that's where that saying comes from. What Canadian-born African-American inventor and engineer is notable for his 57 U.S. patents, most having to do with the lubrication of steam engines?
Today, I'm so close to all these answers. I just researched this guy, and I can't. Oh, my brain is dead today.
To take you back off of it for a moment, the medulla oblongata, located in the brainstem, is a cone-shaped neuronal mass responsible for autonomic functions ranging from vomiting to sneezing.
There's nothing to do with anything.
There's nothing to do with the crocodile not brushing his teeth.
Yeah.
Medulla contains
That's why
cardiac,
he's so ornery.
respiratory, vomiting, vasomotor centers, and therefore deals with all autonomic functions of breathing, heart rate, and blood pressure.
Water boy.
Damn you, Adam Sandler.
Bad jokes, bad signs.
We're locked in with a wrong answer.
We're locked in.
Okay, I'm really close because I was writing a question about this guy. That's what I was saying before. Hold on.
You already locked in, didn't you?
Well, yeah, we're wrong.
That's why we
Neal's
talked
just
it out
doing
loud.
that thing that he does.
Yeah, we're wrong.
The redemption tour.
Hey, Neal.
Yes.
Since you guys are already locked in, so what if I resaid the category title? So
sure.
that is where that saying comes from. Would that trigger something?
I think we locked in. We're wrong. We put George Washington Carver, but
Oh, that was the other one I was thinking of.
I think if I remember correctly, when I was researching the question, I was going to write it. I was going to use a musical reference to the band The Real McCoy, because I think his name is McCoy, something McCoy.
Yep, it is Elijah J. McCoy, and he is one of the possible origins for the saying "the real McCoy."
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Did you guys give an answer?
Oh, yeah, it was wrong.
Okay, moving on to question 18. Category is apparently you can play less than 11-man football. Question: 6-man football was invented in 1934 by a small-town high school coach who wanted to find a way for his players to have the opportunity to play the game. This variation has modified specifications, including that it takes 15 yards to make a first down instead of 10, and being played on a field that is how many yards long instead of 100? Within 5 yards, how long is a 6-man football field?
You guys are locked in. I'm guessing. I bet it's half.
Did they also step it up to 150 yards? Would they have?
I don't think they would extend it because those people would be absolutely exhausted.
But why would
after
they
a
have
game.
gone further out for?
It's
a
just.
first
I
down?
think it's just more like you. It's almost like you score on the possession or the other team gets the ball.
Yeah, that's fair because you're not going to have 2 defenders on a receiver.
Right. So you do 80 yards.
You want to do 75? That's divisible by 15.
75
All right.
yards.
All right, we said 150.
It is 80.
No.
80 yards. Yep. So it's very intriguing to watch. So I went to a very small high school that had 8-man football.
Oh, okay.
And my older brother, who's 8 years older than me, went to a high school that had 6-man. He played 6-man. They still, I think the article I read, I took the rules from the Texas rules. So it's still pretty popular in Texas. But yeah, it's really intriguing to watch, like how they can condense it down.
Yeah,
That.
it's almost like a flag football style because it's just really wide open. And that's why I knew it had to be less because otherwise those guys would be running so much that there's no way they can play a full game if it was more than 100 yards.
Yeah, because every time you had a reception, you'd have to run 75 yards.
That'd be
Yet
crazy.
somehow soccer players manage it.
There's some resting there. I've watched. They're not running the whole time.
Australian football runs the whole time.
Good for them.
Not every time you get a mark.
All right. Question 9.
Okay, question 9. Category is a teeny tiny bit of weather trivia. What weather event is an intense, small-scale downdraft produced by a thunderstorm or rain shower that can be particularly dangerous to aircraft, especially during landing due to the wind shear caused by its gust front? Several fatal and historic crashes have been attributed to the phenomenon over the past several decades, and flight crew training goes to great lengths on how to properly recover from this event.
And it's not backdraft because that's a movie.
Mm-hmm.
Also a firefighter thing.
It's not overdraft because that's what happens to my account.
I mean, I think you're right in what you wrote, but I don't have a better thought.
I don't either. It's trying to think of disaster movies with airplanes that would have used this if it had a cool name, but
Like the name of the movie.
not
would
like
be
Geostorm
Yeah.
or Twister.
2012. Yes.
Really?
That was a weather event.
That was Apocalypse.
It was something.
Yeah.
It was the end of John Cusack's career.
That's what it was.
Got him.
Yeah, it's a real bummer because I can't quite remember. But we'll lock in.
We are locked in with turbulence.
I think this is a very specific. You know how like some regions have like different names for weather phenomena? So we just said Maloo. I think that's like an Australian wind.
I don't know about regional. So the answer that I have is microburst.
Oh, I have heard of that. Okay.
So if you're fascinated by stuff like this, I am. So the Smithsonian's channel has a series called Air Disasters that investigates plane crashes. And they have a really good season 2, episode 3 I wrote down. And it details a plane crash that was caused by a microburst, and then also like how NASA flies planes around with all their instruments or whatever specifically to track these and make sure that they don't cause disasters again.
It's so funny. This game is so well written with all these wonderful facts and things, and these are all things like you just said
And
that I'm
clues.
Well, yeah, I'm fascinated in everything that these answers are, like watching them, like Gina was saying, like on TV, but I never retain them. But these are things I all love to learn about, and I can't retain them for the life of me.
Well, Neal, here's a good old question for you. Number 20 is just a good old-fashioned movie tri-bond.
Okay.
So what actor or actress appeared in these 3 films? Mystic Pizza, Ocean's 11, and Stuck on You.
Okay, we're locked in.
Wasn't Julia Roberts in Mystic Pizza and Ocean's 11?
Mm-hmm. Would she be stuck on you?
She might be.
Okay. Pretty woman.
You said Julia Roberts?
Yeah.
Well, you took her bait, but that was an early Matt Damon role in Mystic Pizza. So you said Matt Damon.
Say it right.
Matt Damon.
Yep. Very, very young Matt Damon in Mystic Pizza. Yep, it's Matt Damon.
It makes me feel so good to like finish the second round. So we got a question right at the beginning of the second round, and we got one right at the end.
Yep.
So bookended it there.
The only one of the 3 I've seen is Ocean's 11 in that tri-bond. So
You missed the classic.
You haven't seen Ben
Stuck on
Carson?
You?
Ben Carson cameo playing it himself and Stuck on You?
All right. Well, at the end of the regulation, looks like we're settling in at a cool 100 points.
Keeping it 100.
Yep, and we're just slightly ahead of you guys at 135.
All right. Well, let's hear those categories and see how many chips we're pushing in.
Okay. So the final round is taken from and inspired by the book The Martian, whose movie stars Matt Damon. And it is my favorite audiobook. It is my go-to background noise. So all of these are inspired by The Martian, and here are your categories. Number 1, mythology. 2, mathematics. 3, chemistry. 4, German. And 5, astronomers.
We're locked in.
Yep, us too.
Okay, here's your first question in mythology. In The Martian, astronaut Mark Watney uses the moons of Mars for navigation and says that it's probably not a good sign that he is letting the god of fear be his guide. Name the largest moon of Mars that is named after the personification of fear in Greek mythology. Number 2 in mathematics. In another instance of Watney's navigational troubles, the astronaut has to travel directly south instead of the southeast direction he needs to go. Fill in the blank in this quotation. I'm traveling 90 kilometers per day as usual, but I'm only getting 37 kilometers closer because blank is a dick. Number 3 in chemistry. In order to grow Martian potatoes, Watney had to make water from scratch. The recipe, he says, is take hydrogen, add oxygen, burn. But in the process of making water, the chemical reaction leaves traces of wet, smelly compound, represented by the formula NH3. Number 4, German. Watney jokes that his crewmate Vogel must be a supervillain because he is a chemist and he's German. The mad scientist Vogel and his wife have a cute name for their children, the Affen. What animal name does the Affen translate to in English? And that is spelled AFFEN. And number 5, astronomers. Watney has to travel to the site of the next scheduled Mars mission in order to reach the ascent vehicle stationed there. This site is located in what crater, which is named after an Italian astronomer who wrote the book Life on Mars in 1893.
All the answers are locked in.
Thank you.
Okay, question 1. Name the largest moon of Mars that is named after the personification of fear in Greek mythology.
Yeah, I just could not come up with this one. It's going to drive me crazy when I hear it.
Did you wager on this one?
We wagered Oakland Fives all the way down.
Okay. Interesting.
So keep that in your minds. And we just wrote Hades.
So largest is pretty funny because both moons of Mars are pretty tiny. And I believe the 2 moons are Deimos and Phobos. And Phobos is the one that we're looking for.
Wager?
For 0 points.
For 0 points. Yeah, all that build up for nothing.
Yep, it is Phobos. Phobos and Deimos he uses to navigate, and Phobos is the god of fear. Okay, so number 2, mathematics, fill in the blank in this quotation. I'm traveling 90 kilometers per day as usual, but I'm only getting 37 kilometers closer because blank is a dick.
This one, so we wagered 10 on this one. We were kind of arguing back and forth about different mathematics things, and then
No arguing. True team effort.
Yeah,
This was both of us combined.
I drew a line down for A, and then we did one southeast, and then we thought maybe that's C, and then we got to the Pythagorean theorem, and we said maybe it's Pythagoras.
Yep, that's what we said too for 5 points. Pythagoras is a dick.
Yep, Pythagoras is a dick.
I mean, that's really mean. He found it. It's not like he came up with physics.
He did not create it.
He did not make math happen.
Okay, question number 3, chemistry. The recipe for water is take hydrogen, add oxygen, and burn. In the process of making water, the chemical reaction leaves traces of wet, smelly compound represented by the formula NH3.
I'm not sure this is right because I don't know what's in this, but we said methane.
So we put 20 on this one, and I'm pretty sure that, Ken, you'll remember having eaten copious amounts of this with your Hockarl because this is ammonia.
Mm-hmm.
Yep, it is ammonia. All right, and question 4, German. Vogel and his wife have a cute name for their children, die Affen. What animal name does die Affen translate to in English?
We just said rabbits.
Yeah. We wagered 0 on this one. We thought maybe those kids were eating all the time, and they reminded them of little pigs.
So diaphane, and please forgive me for my German pronunciation, but diaphane means the monkeys.
Oh.
How are our little monkeys?
From
Makes
here,
sense.
the PI looks like a capital A, and I thought Matt wrote ass for the kids. I was dying.
Fair enough.
And question number 5 in astronomers. Let's see. Okay, so Watney has to travel to the site of the next Mars mission in order to reach the ascent vehicle. The site is what crater, named after Italian astronomer who wrote the book Life on Mars in 1893?
Famous Italian astronomer Waluigi. Wow.
We went with the famous John Crater of Mars. And we wagered 10 on this one.
So the answer is Giovanni Schiaparelli. He is traveling to the Schiaparelli crater.
That was actually my second guess. So
I felt bad because I could think of like 16th, 15th century astronomers and like 20th century astronomers, but no one in the.
And I was just
19th
shouting
century.
Galileo at him over and over.
It's true.
No, that was just the Queen song you were playing.
Well, it looks like we are not the survivalists that Mark Watney is, as we dropped 15 points in that round, bringing our total score of the game to 85. And it looks like today's cream of the crop is going to be Team Jeff and Matt. What was your name?
We're the bright guys.
The Bright Guys. 155. You are the cream of the crop.
The cream will rise to the top. Oh, yeah.
Feels good.
I can taste that salty B vitamin hot dog in my.
So you just need to put a wager in front of me, and then I'm on the ball.
There you go.
That's
All right,
true.
well, me and Neal will sample the Vegemite veggie dogs,
Yeah, veggie dogs.
and we'll film that for your pleasure.
I'll also eat the Vegemite because I promised over a year and a half ago. at this point.
That's fair.
Yeah, this was such a really well-written game, Gina. Thank you for putting this together.
Thank you. Thank you so much for having me. Yeah, it was a lot of fun, especially coming up with the themes and taking inspiration and stuff. So thank you.
No, all the themes were great. How about you, before we have any final words, why don't you give a shout out to everyone who helped you and wrote questions in for you again once more?
Yes. So first of all, thank you so much to my friends Seth and Holly. They were the first friends that I went to pub trivia with a couple years ago and really got me into this culture. So thank you for letting me use your equipment in your office and confiscating that for a Sunday afternoon. Thank you to Adam Belt, who wrote my question 5s for me. And then also my friend Dan Dockstader for the inspiration for the Tide question.
All right.
Yeah, it was great. Make sure in Seth and Holly's office there before they come back, just print out a picture of Nicolas Cage's face and hide it somewhere that they'll find another time. It's always a good prank.
Maybe one of his insane
Yeah.
visages from Mandy or something like
Yeah.
that. That'd be good.
Maybe put it under the keyboards when they go to clean
Yikes.
to see his face.
Well, thank
yeah.
you again for hosting today, and thanks again for being a Patreon supporter. We surely appreciate it. And without further ado, thank you from Jeff, Neal, Matt, and myself. You two, please play us out, whatever that means. And that was Triviality.
Mama says that alligators are ornery because they got all them teeth but no toothbrush.
Wow. Anybody else? Yes, user.
Alligators are aggressive because of an enlarged medulla oblongata. It's the sector of the brain which controls aggressive behavior.
That is correct. The medulla oblongata.
But Mama
The
said...
medulla oblongata is where anger, jealousy, and aggression come from. Now, is there anybody here can tell me where happiness comes from?
Mama say that happiness is from magic rays of sunshine that come down when you're feeling blue.
Well, folks, Mama's wrong again.
No, Colonel Sanders, you're wrong. Mama's right.
I'm trying to think if they said it in an English accent, how that would sound. If you'd be like, come here, you little rabbits. It's time for dinner, like that. Come here, dear Affen.